That Ron Young likes to talk on the phone. Set me free, why don't you, baby? This is for you, Danforth. Got my life, why don't you, baby? 'Cause you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. 639, Bulldog and Kevin and Ron. And we are joined by one of our favorite people. A man who's, when his publishing company comes out with a book, it's on the front page of the Globe the next week. The Inquirer, Steal Things. Danforth Prince, welcome to the show.
Morning.
Oh, I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you, Bill.
Now, before we start, Danforth Prince of Blood Moon Production, were you waiting for our phone call?
No, your phone line. There's a technical error, and I couldn't get through on it. And Ron called me, so it's all happy. Everybody's happy.
Okay, so what happened when you called?
It was a fast, busy signal that I kept getting. I tried on a couple landlines and even through a computer.
Okay, well, I'm glad, because I have your number, Danforth. I have your number.
I'm grateful you do. And tech issues are going to kill all of us.
That's true.
We will all die early because of tech issues, I've decided.
Now, Danforth Prince, your next book is about Jackie Kennedy Onassis, and it's about to hit the streets, isn't it?
Yes, it's in about a month it'll be out there, and this is the first time I've talked on any public outlet about this project.
We're very public. We are so public.
You are the first, baby.
Okay, so now tell me about the book, because I haven't gotten my copy yet. I love reading your book, so tell me what we're going to learn a little bit about Jackie Kennedy Onassis, who obviously when she followed in the White House after Mamie Eisenhower, the country went, oh my God, we have a human.
What kind of conflict they had, the two of them. Yep. We're releasing this book on the 20th anniversary of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis' death.
I can't believe it's been 20 years, to be honest.
Isn't it amazing how quickly it's gone?
Yes.
The world has changed since then. Journalistic standards have grown more liberal, a bit more loose, and in those 20 years there's been a carload of new things written about her, new witnesses who came forth revealing details about her, not in a negative way, but in an illuminatory way, which amplify our understanding of a woman we love. So our intention in putting out this very detailed 700-page, 32-chapter book on Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis is certainly not to knock her or criticize her or treat her unfairly, but to illuminate to some degree the complexities that were whirling around her in an era that has never really been looked at, thanks partly to the mystery she herself created about her own life.
Now, what's the name of the book? What's the exact title?
It's called Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams.
Oh, okay. She didn't dream about all this? A life beyond her wildest dreams. Okay.
And as a young girl, she was referred to by her step-cousin, once removed, Gore Vidal, as a Vassar-educated American geisha, the Japanese courtesan who was educated to have nothing more in life than to marry a wealthy and socially appropriate man. And I think this book traces the evolution of her own character from that into something much more international, much more cosmopolitan, much more poignant, illuminating again a woman that we love very much.
So this book sounds like it's going to be very favorable to Jackie Kennedy Onassis.
Well, I think it will be illuminatory toward her, and I think it will make readers understand what she had to go through and what she had to deal with.
Right.
It's certainly not a fawning, obsequious, I love Jackie, I believe in Camelot kind of thing, because there's 2,000 of those already out on the market.
Right. So, no, because I'm sure that, and you've dealt it into Jackie's life, but can you continue to tell me more about Jackie? Because there's so much. I mean, Did you?
Well, the book is arranged by subject matter rather than chronologically.
Right.
The normal way to begin a biography is to begin at the cradle and end at the grave and then fill in all the details in between, and you get an awful lot of boring stuff in between. We've arranged the book into 32 chapters, each of them dealing with a situation. For example, a chapter on Jackie's road to the White House, the speeches she made with her husband, the political compromises, the diner meals on the road, the infidelities of her husband, all in the name of ascending to the White House.
Right.
There's a chapter on Jackie as a fashionista, as a style setter with the...
Absolutely.
And with the Oleg Cassini link to him, and certainly a fashion but scandalous chapter on the fashion she wore.
Did she sleep with Sinatra?
Let's talk about her lovers, if we might.
Okay, that's it. Lovers, yeah.
Whereas the world is rather aware of the promiscuity of her husband, Jack Kennedy, is less aware of the affairs that she had with her two brothers-in-law, both Bobby and Teddy, but also with some movie stars that she had always fantasized about as a young girl. Giggle, giggle with her sister, Lee Bouvier.
Radziwill, yeah.
Yeah, Radziwill. But there was also sexual interludes with Paul Newman and Warren Beatty and William Holden.
Ooh, yeah.
So
good for her.
She really was a vibrant, attractive woman, and she certainly did not go into the coffin with her husband after his assassination. She led the life of a single woman, desirable, wealthy, famous, sought after.
She went to work. Jackie she went to work at Harper and Row, right? Didn't she go to work?
Well, it was actually Viking and then at Doubleday.
Okay.
And one of the books that she managed was the autobiography of Michael Jackson.
And she's the only one that could have gotten it, everybody says.
Well, she had to sort of chase him off to Disneyland where he wanted to meet her. And when she went to his ranch at Never Never Land, he chased away the staff and forbade any photographs from being taken. And she was a difficult editorial subject because Michael was not very clear on the details associated with his life. He really sort of wanted a vague, cloudy, happy recitation. She was always trying to get greater detail to make a more pithy book.
Right.
And the compromise was a book that she was not particularly proud of, but she nonetheless got credit for snagging and snaring and reeling in Michael Jackson's autobiography, Moonwalk. That's
the story of Kevin's life, snagging and reeling him in. We're talking with Danforth.
That is the story of my life.
Danforth Price, and we're talking about the new book.
Prince.
Danforth Prince. Price. I'll make you a Price. Danforth, he is a prince. And we're talking about Jackie Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams. Do you get into much about the assassination and how she led the country and how her bravery kept the country
Very much.
together?
There's a long chapter on the assassination, which is amplified, of course, by the recently released Arthur Schlesinger tapes that were sanctioned by the Caroline Kennedy camp. A lot was revealed in those recently, ahead of schedule. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of brouhaha about the William Manchester Death of a President project, which Jackie, for whatever reason she had, tried very hard to censor, and really, first she hired William Manchester to write the official, quote, official version of the assassination, and then persecuted him day and night into doing a version that she approved of. She was offended by his admitting that she was a frequent smoker, almost nonstop smoker. She didn't want that in.
She wanted to keep the Camelot image alive, right? She wanted, no warts.
Yes.
Everything should be perfect.
And one of her worst literary enemies, and there's a chapter, of course, on her essays out into the literary community, one of her worst enemies became the conservative journalist William F. Buckley, who met her at a cocktail party, and he said, "I'm putting together a project that will destroy Camelot, ha ha ha," and she rejected him at the party, and she lost her cool. It didn't happen very often that she did that. And left the party in a rage, and she really did work very hard to keep alive the image of Camelot, for good or for bad.
Right.
But considering what she had to go through, being in the limousine as her husband was assassinated, and the blood splattering on her pink Chanel suit, blah blah, she certainly had a right to have an emotional investment in what Camelot was perceived as being. So,
and they told Jackie Kennedy at the time she was Jackie Kennedy to change that pink outfit after she was all bloodstained, and she said, "No, I want them to see what they've done." Right?
Yes. And actually, there's quite a story on that pink Chanel suit, which is, of course, a rather trivial detail within a longer context of a very long book.
Right.
But it is indeed the origins of that pink Chanel suit, which was a copy and not made by Coco herself. And Coco Chanel realized it was a copy and was furious.
Okay, now, Danforth, hold on, we have to take a quick break. Danforth Prince, president of Blood Moon Productions, and the book is coming out next month, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams. When we come back, we just have a few minutes, but tell me a little bit about what you found out about, was she ever really in love with Onassis, okay, when we come back?
Yes.
You're listening to The Bulldog and Kevin. We're live, we're local on K-News, 94.3 FM and 970 AM. 53 minutes after the hour, Bulldog, Kevin, and Ron. And we have Danforth Prince, president of Blood Moon Productions, on the phone. Danforth, your next big book coming out is Jackie Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams. Sort of how I feel about my life, his wildest dreams. and where will it be available in Palm Springs? Because you always let it out in Palm Springs first someplace.
We're releasing it at Greetings on Palm Canyon Drive. I think it's near the Hyatt out there.
Yes,
and that'll be the first retail outlet in America where this book will be available sometime in late May.
Oh, great.
I really like Palm Springs as sort of a test market for some of the products we put out, and I think people there have time to read, they're literate, they're interested in showbiz and entertainment, and Palm Springs is wonderful.
Oh, well, good.
Greetings.
And our mayor lives in Denver. It's the only city that the mayor doesn't live in their own city. Anyway, okay, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams. When she met Aristotle Onassis, I hope she never really fell in love with that beast.
Oh, I'm not sure that he was totally a beast. I would have found him very, very interesting. That was a longer relationship than I think anyone ever thought. He was involved, certainly in legal conflicts with Bobby Kennedy, Attorney General, during the presidency of JFK regarding shipping rights as to where he could dock within the mainland United States with his oil tankers. When JFK was assassinated, he was part of the mourners who passed through the White House and was even entertained in the private chambers briefly for one of the wakes. I think, though, that what I believe about Jackie and about life and about Ari was that people of second and third marriages have very different motivations for wanting to be married than for first marriages. And I think the people of this social level, this level of ostentation, of grandeur, of power, of world fame, really do operate with a different set of premises than we who watch them with such fascination. I think she did love him, of course. There was great tenderness there. There was great pride. They really did bond. She worked very hard. He could be utterly charming. We talk about the conflicts between her as a Roman Catholic, Western American liberated woman, and he as a Greek Orthodox, rather Byzantine, with a tormented personal past of his own. He escaped the massacre of the Greeks of Smyrna, now Izmir in Turkey, by the Turks, and really hustled and maneuvered and schemed his way to multi-billionaire-dom. So these are very unusual people whose values simply do not correspond to that of most of us. I think our job is to be charitable and kind and to look at it with a sense of marvel that Jackie survived and coped as well as she did. I'm
just curious, does the book go into, I mean, when it was announced that she married Onassis, I mean, America as a whole threw up. And rejected her for a while.
Well, Doris Lilly was a columnist.
I remember Doris Lilly. She was a cab. Yes. She was a hoot. Yeah.
Yes, a hoot. And she went on the Merv Griffin show, and she announced early in the Onassis marriage game that Jacqueline Kennedy is going to marry Aristotle Onassis, and the audience went crazy, and a mob formed outside the Merv Griffin studio afterwards, and one member of the mob took a sharp nail file and stabbed her in the face and nearly put out her eye.
Doris Lilly's?
Yeah.
Wow.
So America was enraged.
Kevin doesn't know that, but America I'm telling you, the whole country threw up and said, well, the hell with you. You were our first lady, and now you marry that pig.
And I am a strong believer that people have the right to do whatever the hell they want in terms of their marriage, regardless of how public a figure they are. And the reaction was indeed violent, and a woman on the Champs-Élysées at Fouquet in Paris spit at her as she was having coffee over this. It was high drama.
It was high drama, yes. Did Jackie Onassis, when she became Jackie Onassis, she and the daughter Christina really hated one another, didn't they?
Well, that was indeed one of her blood feuds, and the book explores that blood feud and the outcome and the complicated relationship that Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis had with Christina Onassis and the very complicated relationship that Jackie had with Alexander, the son who died in an airplane crash, and that's certainly explored, and also explored our Jackie's blood feuds with Grace Kelly and Elizabeth Taylor, who we, of course, love and adore.
Yes. So
there's high drama here, ranging from the grand, tragic Greek operatic to the petty and the celebrity-fueled. And I think what emerges is a charitable portrait of a woman whose life was very complicated, and a lot of this stuff is not known, or if it is known, it's scattered throughout 100 different sources. We at Blood Moon have gathered it together into one coherent book, available for sale everywhere in about a month.
And it's called Jackie Kennedy Onassis,
A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams.
Danforth, you're always welcome on this show. It's very. Kevin is writing down all these words, your vocabulary. He wrote down 4 or 5 words during your talk that he never heard of before, and we're going to explain them to him, okay?
It's the last resort of the desperate, Kevin. It means nothing.
Danforth, why don't you come out here? You haven't been out here in years.
I know. It's terrible. I must get back. I love Palm Springs. There's many people I want to meet. It's such a hideaway for celebrities with stories to tell.
Yes. In fact, there's rumors that Lucille Ball is still alive out in Palm Springs, so come on out.
What does she look like?
Oh, she's lost a few pounds. No. Come on out, Danforth. And again, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, A Life Beyond Her Wildest Dreams. It'll be a fabulous book. Thanks, Danforth.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much. Coming up, Robin Descamp, all the way from Portland. She'll be sitting right next to me on the Bill Feingold Show, live and local on K-News, 94.3 FM and 970 AM.
How I'd leave in autumn